All right, give it just a second here. All right, I was trying to make it not show the little videos, but it's not going to let me do that. So I'll crop off the beginning part of the thing here, but you can go ahead and get started.
Yeah, can you mute the other lines?
Oh, yes. Well, maybe. There we go. I had to do them individually.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jim Janosik, the PR Chair for Ohio District Kiwanis, and tonight's webinar we're going to be talking a little bit about public relations, brand guidelines, some of our district contests, as well as various resources and assistance that is available from the district and international. So I appreciate you all joining us tonight, and we'll go ahead and get started. So first thing, what is our brand? You all know that the Kiwanis just turned 100 years old, 101 pretty soon. And so we have a really rich tradition and history that's been established and developed over a century. And the Kiwanis brand, though, at its core and its essence is our story, how our members serve the children of the world, and the activities and projects that we do on a local and on a global scale. And part of our brand guidelines is really protecting that image and that feeling when people see Kiwanis in action, that they can associate us with those feelings and emotions, that we are a premier service-oriented organization. Our strong brand really tells a story, and it tells it consistently. And our district in Ohio and other districts and clubs throughout the world, I think, really strive to be consistent in their messaging. And so sort of what we want to talk about tonight is some new direction that Kiwanis International is having us work with, that they really developed a couple of years ago, and that's brand guidelines, so that we have consistent design, consistent messaging. And some of this will be shared more so over the next couple of months as we roll out the I plan, one of those I's being image. So we'll have some more information coming on that. The first thing we want to talk about briefly is the Kiwanis logo. And a few years ago, Kiwanis International transitioned from using the logo that you see on the left there, the serving the children of the world with the oval, or the birdcage as some people refer to it as, to just the seal by itself, or the seal with the name Kiwanis next to it. There are a couple variations on the logo that they would like to be used more consistently throughout clubs, throughout the design that people are putting on brochures and flyers and print material and websites and social media and all of that good stuff. This is one. These are three color variations of the logo. There's just the one color, the blue, or the solid black at the bottom. And then there's the full color logo as well. There's also a stacked logo that's available that can be used, and a vertical logo too. So they have a couple variations on how this layout is arranged, all of which we'll show you here in a few minutes on how to access those and how to utilize those. Here's a couple of common things, and the next couple of slides that I'll share with you come directly out of the Kiwanis brand guidelines, which are available on the Kiwanis website. And we'll show you that link here in a second too. The really key things when you're designing things is to avoid these common mistakes of like stretching or scaling out a logo so that it's out of proportion. And I'm cognizant of the fact that on this particular PowerPoint, the first slide had the Kiwanis logo stretched out. So that just happened to be because of the aspect ratio on PowerPoint, utilizing it on this particular computer. So, which I did not know about before the presentation. So, on the right, you see one where a Kiwanis club or text has been replaced within the seal of the logo. They really don't like that. And then using different fonts for the name Kiwanis, in official type of print material too. And then there's some other guidelines on the size for the logo as well. In the brand guidelines too are some basics on color, and I wanted to talk briefly about this so that when folks are doing design work, that they're utilizing the right color matches. And in the brand guidelines, it shows you what these different things are. So CMYK, I'll tell you, is a 4-color process. So if you ever have a printer or somebody that says, I need it in full color means 4-color. And CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, and K stands for black, is a 4-color printing process. RGB is a 3-color printing process, or typically for most web interaction or web graphics, it would utilize a 3-color process. And so when you're creating something, there are different values that you input into your color picker to be able to choose those. And so those are some variations that you can see there as well. The next thing that we want to talk about briefly are the family of fonts that Kiwanis International has chosen. And you can see that the Myriad Pro and Verdana are some of those fonts, Palatino, Garamond, Premiere Pro. Most of those are readily available in standard Microsoft suite of documents that can be created. Some of them are open source that you can download and put on your computer as well. So that's just a little helpful tip there on fonts. I'll also state, sorry I didn't at the beginning, if you have a question on anything, there's a little chat feature. You can click on the chat button and it'll come up and we can see about getting that answered. The next slide here we've had a lot of questions on this, and this also is right in the brand guidelines, but this really talks about the different types of photos and logos and document file that are available, and what some of those differences are. EPS documents are really great for print because they can be rasterized to be any size. You can make it an inch wide, you can make it a mile wide, and it will maintain the integrity of the print file without being distorted or becoming grainy. You can't necessarily take something like a GIF or a JPEG or a PNG and make it into an EPS. There's extra design work that goes into that so that it maintains its integrity. The most common file that's utilized today is the JPEG, which is the JPG. Some files are JPEG. They're basically the same thing. They're not necessarily all low resolution images. Some can be high resolution or higher quality. Most digital photos today, including iPhones, utilize JPEG. It's become a really standard format. PNG is more for your websites, for backgrounds. They're a little bit, not necessarily lower scale and quality, but they load faster because they are lower resolution. So they're better suited for digital types of things. And then the PSD is a Photoshop file. AI is Adobe Illustrator. So those are both in the Adobe suite of files that you can use to make things. Most of what I work in are those two design files and formats for creating things. But certainly most documents, folks can make things in Microsoft Publisher. Something in Word could even be done. And there are tons of apps available on various platforms too for designing things as well. I'm going to kick it over to Ellen Martin here for a few minutes, and she's going to share with us another topic that a lot of people have asked about, and that's really what makes a great social media post. So welcome, Ellen. She's a member of the PR team. We're glad to have her, and Ellen, you can take it away. Ellen, are you there?
I guess it helps if I unmute myself. Okay.
There you go. Okay.
So thanks, Jim. I could teach a whole 8-week course on social media, but Jim told me I only have less than 8 minutes. So I'm going to cover social media in the context of branding a little bit and just some things to think about when you're posting on social media. So some of the things that make a great social media post, to start with, is good content. So really, nobody wants to read boring posts. You need to find ways that are going to compel your audience, give them interesting excerpts, tasteful yet funny commentaries, make article links and comments that are engaging. But before you post, ask yourself, is this something that would interest you? And then post it. And visuals are really important. Visuals are processed 60 times faster than text. So when somebody sees a visual image on social media, it's going to result in a lot more engagement or interaction by people. People are going to like it, share it, tweet it, etc. a lot more if it has an image in it. So the old adage of a picture is worth 1,000 words has never been more true than with social media. So positive content's another thing. Really, you're going to get a lot more shares if you put something out there that's has positive, upbeat. Don't be posting negative things, especially anything that's bad-mouthing any kind of a person or business. And at all costs, keep all politics out of the posts in when you're doing social media. You want to give a good impression of the Kiwanis brand in everything that you post. So I always say, think before you post. So engagement is, how do people interact with your post? Do they comment on it? Do they share it? Do they retweet it? Do they repin it if it's on Pinterest? Anything that, like if you have a tweet that includes a phrase, please retweet, it's likely to get 4 times as many retweets as if you just post something. And in Facebook, if you say, please like, please share, that's going to get a little more action as well. And we call that a call to action. And when you tell somebody to do something, they're more likely to do it. So try to use some kind of a call to action in your post so that you get people to comment, share, and retweet. And then there are some guidelines for when your audience is mostly online, and you can research that if you want. But I find that in a lot of cases, just getting people from your club to post is enough. You know, get it posted at some point in time, and timing can be helpful if you want to get into that, but the best time to do it is when you do it. So get that out there. And I also, one other thing that I want to say is very important is get your club members involved. So if you have somebody designated to maintain your Facebook page for your club, that's great. Have them post everything on the page, but then that person should also, using their personal Facebook profile, comment and share that post on their own timeline. And that gets that interaction going. And then if you have a whole crew of people in your club designated to comment and share and retweet, then that also is going to increase the engagement and increase the number of people that see it, because then their friends may see it. Their friends aren't as likely to see it if they just comment, but if they share it or retweet it, then their friends may see it and start getting more exposure for Kiwanis. And that's one of the most effective things I can think you can do with social media is really designate people. Don't just say, please do this, but designate people that after every event, somebody's designated to post it and 10 people are designated to comment and reshare it. And with Facebook, liking is not really enough. It's one thing to like it, but it's the comments and the shares that really get that post noticed by other people. So I want to talk a little bit more about the visuals. And when you're looking at visuals, I mentioned earlier, people really engage with visuals a lot more, and our brains process it a lot faster. So what you want to do when you're having any kind of a club event is take lots and lots of pictures and try to get pictures of people in action. Get those facial expressions, the reactions, emotions. Anytime you can get them interacting with kids, that's great too. I do recommend that you get some kind of approval from the parents of those kids before you post it. But it's good to have those kinds of things where you've got Kiwanis members interacting with one another, having fun so that people can see, what kind of great work is being done out there.
Ellen, can I share a story?
Certainly.
Yeah, so I posted a photo of International President Sue and I, just to say happy birthday, thinking, oh, well, this would be a good reminder. It's a nice photo of her and I, and I'm holding, the certificate from being installed as governor. And I had 188 likes just by wishing Sue Petterson, a lovely photo, as you've described, positive, saying, thank you, Sue, you're an inspiration, to us. 188 likes and 34 comments. So I just thought that was interesting. And then I wanted to also, on the Amtrak front ad, you had mentioned getting approval. Whenever we give away an Amtrak, we actually have a press release form, so that I know folks in clubs are doing that. There is a form that Ambucks has that the parents sign. And so if you've seen me post or blog around the photos of the child at the district board meeting, et cetera, receiving their Amtrak, there is a form that I use for that as well. So I just want to share that because I've been posting a lot of the children, and it also have been receiving the Amtraks. So.
That's very good information. In fact, Jim, I wonder if we could even make a form available if somebody from the PR team to allow just for people to use as a template.
Yeah, absolutely. We could do that. We got a couple of questions from the chat room too. One from Dave Thomas asking for a list of Twitter and Facebook handles to follow. We could certainly do that. We have several from the district. Kiwanis International has many as well. And there are dozens of clubs around the state that you can follow too to share as well. I'll state that we now have a district Facebook page that is a public page in addition to the closed group, which is still available. And so content can be submitted to the committee for consideration for posting to the public page as well. So definitely, Dave, we'll go ahead and get that. And Amy Zimmerman's just replying. She's at AL Zimmerman OH if you'd like to follow her on Twitter. From Bill Flinta, what type of approval for posting photos of children is recommended? Does it need to be in writing? It really depends on the audience, who you're taking the photos of. Definitely when you're sharing it with social media, you don't want to be tagging or listing names of any youth or minors. I would refer you to look at some of the youth protection guidelines that are available as well. Always err on the side of caution. In general, most folks that will allow you to take their photo sort of give a blanket express permission for it to be taken. In particular, if it's at an event that is hosted by Kiwanis, generally speaking, they allow by their entrance to the event or into your event area that they may be photographed. Most people that don't wish to be photographed or have anything shared typically would say something to you and in that regard. So just be cognizant of that fact. And so those are a couple questions from online. Did you want to talk a little bit more about the photos, Ellen?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention a little bit about the logo and how to incorporate the Kiwanis logo in your photos. If you've got banners, T-shirts, anything that has the Kiwanis logo and brand on it, it's a great thing to get in those photos, because the more people see the word Kiwanis, the more people see the logo, the more it starts to imprint in their mind, and they start saying, I've seen that somewhere before. And so that's how we really get the brand out there, is to have that as often as possible. So if you can encourage people to wear T-shirts to some of your events, and come up with some banners and things like that, that's a great way to also get some additional exposure for the brand.
There's a couple of other photos as a reference and example as well.
Yeah, so this one, it even talks about Kiwanis One Day. So, you know, if you've got an event that has a specific name to it, you can try to get pictures with the name of the event in it as well.
And it can have your club name on there too. So you can certainly, you know, have your club listed, you know, and custom printed on a shirt as well. Same goes for any SLP programs. Branded shirts are a wonderful way to help identify and unify those groups as well. All right, so we're going to talk. Thank you, Ellen, for sharing with us on that. Did you have some other stuff?
One quick thing Jen just posted in the chat. She said people, including children, are allowed to be photographed in public settings. Definitely prudent to get approval of parents for children, especially since some are in foster care. And so, yeah, technically, you know, if you're in a public place, there's not a lot to stop people from photographing you. But I just, like you said, it's kind of prudent so that you don't get complaints from a parent that says, well, hey, I don't want my kid's picture out on social media. So,
correct. So I'd like to talk a little bit about resources that are available for clubs to help you guys out with things. And some of this is what we shared a few excerpts from earlier, the Kiwanis brand guide. And then there's also a style guide for the written word that they've developed. And some of those have addendums to them as well. And there are also links on Kiwanis1.org for all of the logos that I shared with you in the various formats, including the EPS format, JPEG, and PNG formats. They have all those various styles and sizes of the logos available for free on Kiwanis1.org. Also on the website, too, is an image gallery. As we're talking about photos here, there are a lot of images that Kiwanis International has created that are available that you can utilize in your social media, in your websites, in your brochures, however you like, for your promotion. So if you're not that photographic, enabled to be able to produce really good photos, you're free to download some of those from the Resource Center. Another option is a couple of stock photo sites that are available. There are ones that are free. There are ones that are paid. Some work by credit systems, and some work just by purchasing a photo outright. But here's a reference to a couple of stock photo websites. I particularly use iStockPhoto.com myself with Getty Images. They produce some really world-class photos, and these are all crowdsourced photos. So there are literally millions of photographers that are coming out and taking photos and submitting them, and then they're curated and approved to be able to be sold. Some other resources for you as well, a couple of website builders that we mentioned up there, Wix.com, Weebly.com. I've seen a few clubs using those. Those are free websites to be able to make a club website. They're very easy to use, even for a novice, to be able to craft and produce an easy website to share with your community. Podcasts are really another great resources just for information. that goes way beyond the brief stuff that we're talking about here today. These are a couple that I've listened to that provide some great resources as well. Grammar Girl, Public Speakers, Quick and Dirty Tips. Most of those are available on a variety of platforms. Wherever you get your podcasts at, definitely, search for some public relations and branding guidelines to check out. We have another question in the chat. Another one that Ellen just posted is Canna, CANNA.com is a good reference for creating social media posts. Thank you for sharing that.
And actually, that was my bad. I typed Canna. I think it was an autocorrect. It's Canva.
Oh, it's Canva. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I misheard that. Okay.
I think autocorrect got me there. Very
good. Another really great resource that comes from Kiwanis International is their Buzz Builder newsletter. This has been around for a little while now, and you can simply email communications@kiwanis.org to get future issues of it. They have the previous issues archived on kiwanis1.org as well. Just do a search in the search bar for the Buzz Builder newsletter. They provide really good resources, as well as they curate content that's been developed from other clubs. So as you're putting your press releases out there and getting coverage on things, submit it to them and it might get picked up. We've had several clubs in Ohio have things picked up as well. So what our district committee here is here for, or to help with a couple of things here, predominantly to help share the Kiwanis brand and better ways to promote the Kiwanis brand in Ohio. We can do that by helping with reviewing and even broadcasting press releases out into your local area. That comes with some assistance from Kiwanis International as well. We're also here to provide some design assistance, and we've helped some clubs with various things, creating flyers or brochures, even club logos that conform to the brand guidelines. So we can certainly help out with that as well. There will also be a mid-year forum, I believe, on public relations, hopefully, and on writing better press releases. If that's not at mid-year, then we will be doing another webinar coverage on that gets a little more in-depth about writing press releases and kind of what goes into that. So I'm going to kick it over to Faith Levine, who is also a member of the PR committee and a former committee chair. And welcome, Faith. She's going to talk about the new district contests for us.
Thank you. I'm pleased to tell you all about the new and the existing contests that will recognize Ohio district clubs that have superior internal and external marketing PR programs. Remember always, the marketing is internal and external. So you have to do both. So the Ohio district will continue the newsletter contest that we've had for many, many years. And there's not going to be a significant difference in the contest criteria from previous years. This year, though, what we'll need to do is you're going to need to add O, D as in dog, K, I, dot, PR@gmail.com to your newsletter distribution list. That way, the newsletters will come to us, and we can do the judging as we go along. The specific criteria is available in the district bulletin, or you can email us at the same ODKIPR website, Gmail account. We have also added 3 new contests for your external marketing efforts. The website contest is designed to encourage clubs to have an active and dynamic web presence that allows the community at large to know more about your club specifically and the overall mission of Kiwanis International and the Ohio District. I'll just go over briefly I'll go over the required minimum criteria, and then I'll just hit upon some of the recommended. On the required for the website, obviously you need a live club website. We need to use the correct Kiwanis logo and using the brand guidelines. We need to have the current club info, club media, club meeting info, photos, video, list of club activities, past and future, and then links to your other K family members' websites, such as SLPs or the district. We would recommend also things that make your website a little bit better than anybody else's. It's going to be links to your social media sites, maybe links to other local groups, maybe links to KI website, and who your webmaster is. We also would think it would be a great idea if one of your club members can attend the district mid-year PR forum, and you'll let us know about that. Now, what will happen is we have an application form that I said is available on the district bulletin, but you can also get it if you email us at the ODKI PR Gmail account. So that will be our website criteria. Now, for those clubs who have taken external marketing as a step forward, we also have a social and have developed a social media presence in Facebook. There's going to be a social media contest. And once again, let me go over the required and then a few of the recommended. Once again, correct Kiwanis logo, meeting the brand guidelines, contact information. We really recommend that you somewhere have a formal social media policy for the club. Really, really important. If need be, I know that the district has a social media policy. The district foundation has a media policy. I know that my clubs have a social media policy. Very, very important to have something like that, just to keep everything on the up and up. We also want to see if you can get a net increase. If you can show a net increase in the likes for your Facebook page, it would be great. And we also you should have a minimum of an average of 2 posts per month. There's nothing worse with a Facebook page than not to have posts. So you will have to have 2 Facebook posts on average per month to show that. And then also if you can create any type of events or advertise your events, whether it's a pancake breakfast or Kiwanis one day, but have creating some type of event on your Facebook page. Once again, that creates the ability to go out into the public and invite people to come in and the interaction. For the recommended criteria for that, if you can relate to other social media medias like Google+, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Twitter, so any of those things would be a really good addition to it. Not necessary, but definitely recommended. Also, on your web page, on your Facebook page, promoting various, like the Kiwanis one day and K family events would be great. So that would be for the social media. The third new contest is designed to encourage clubs to have an active and planned strategy for communicating to the public through media outlets. Once again, we'll be doing some other we'll be doing some information about how to write PR pieces, but what we need to do is, if you want to have into that, these are the criteria. You need to be able to submit at least 4 press releases throughout the year, have at least 2 of them published. Need to make sure you have a club newsletter with the correct logo. If you can, let's see, let me get my stuff together here. Sorry. Yeah, I have it here. And also, if you have event signage, those are the types of things that you need to have pictures of. If you have any advertisements about club events, that'd be great. Those types of things. Now, all of these criteria is once again listed in the district bulletin. You can also get the criteria if you want to email us, and we can send it to you out through the email. The website email address once again is odki.pr@gmail.com, and the deadline for submitting everything will be September 30th, 2016. So once again, I thank you for your attention. We look forward to learning about all of your great marketing and PR efforts and success stories. So thanks so much for your attention.
Great. Thank you, Faith. We appreciate you helping share that and for helping create those new contests. So we're gonna wrap it up a little bit here and add some time here for any additional questions. One thing that popped into my mind, and maybe Ellen can help answer this, and folks can chime in and talk about it. When are hashtags appropriate, and let's start with what are hashtags for folks that don't know what hashtags are and how hashtags operate. So hashtag, Ellen, do you want to help us out with that a little bit?
Okay. Hashtags actually originated on Twitter, and now they've found themselves everywhere. So even Facebook has hashtags, and it's the number sign on your keyboard followed by a word, and it's some kind of a key word that's associated with an event or a company or a brand. So like hashtag Kiwanis could be used to just advertise a Kiwanis event in general. You could have like hashtag Kiwanis pancakes, or anytime you put Kiwanis in your hashtag, it's a good thing, because what hashtags are used for is then for searching. So you can go on Twitter and you can search for keywords based on hashtags, and you can do the same thing searching Facebook by hashtags. So you don't want to overuse them, but it's good to put 1 or 2 hashtags. 1's good, 2's okay, 3 or more, you're kind of abusing the system when you put too many hashtags. I've seen people put entire posts in nothing but hashtags, and that's a little bit outrageous and over the top.
Yeah, absolutely. So Kiwanis International has a couple hashtags, and they vary sort of year to year. The Kiwanis 100 was really popular in 2015. Kids Need Kiwanis is one that's really trending right now that we're trying to get a lot of places to use. We created some for Governor Amy. We have hashtag service A to Z that we utilize, particularly when we do any types of service projects around the state. So we're encouraging clubs to utilize those. Yep, we just got it right there. And we can also use hashtag Ohio Kiwanis as another one that we're starting to use as well. I know with the Amtrike project, hashtag Amtrike is one that we've been using quite a bit as well. So a club can develop their own hashtag and or utilize some that are available from Kiwanis International. The fun part about that is, as you're using those hashtags, do a search yourself and put that hashtag in and see what kinds of fun posts pop up from people all around the world. So thank you, Ellen, for sharing on that.
And one other quick thing, if you do have an event like a pancake breakfast, and you've got your members tweeting about it, about your upcoming event, and you have them tweeting about during the event, whatever, or posting on Facebook, tell them the hashtag to use. Say, please tweet with this hashtag, and that gets that consistency.
Yeah, exactly. And the hashtags predominantly started with just Twitter, but you can utilize it for Facebook as well now. And I'm not sure about some other social media platforms. I think definitely Instagram and Vine you can use hashtags on as well. So those are great ones to try as well. So any other areas of concern or challenges, any particular case scenarios or studies that people are facing that you could use some help with? We had one that popped in on the chat room about maybe making a sort of template for pancake breakfasts flyers that could be utilized for clubs throughout the state. While in theory it's great to have templates, when you get into each club having individual sponsors and different times and dates and even their own club logos or photos that they like to use, it could be a little challenging. There certainly is a document that we'd be happy to share too, though, that shows some good structure to designing a flyer. We shared that at the district convention in 2015. We can create a post for people to have that as well. Perhaps we, excuse me, in the future we can create a contest for the best flyer or poster that's created for a pancake breakfast or for any event for that matter. So thank you for that suggestion, Jen. Success stories, anybody have anything they want to share? I know Amy has shared a few things with the Amtrike project. We've picked up a lot of publicity this year thus far with press releases relative to the Amtrike project, also relative to our new Kiwanis year, having our first female international president. We tied that into Amy's year as governor. And I know with several local clubs, we've gotten press releases picked up. The centennial coverages really helped out a lot. So, and we see a lot of that being shared online on Facebook and even through emails and such too. So, anybody have anything else they'd like to share on a good success story?
Well, this is just Bill. I mean, if possible, and you've got a local paper, work to get somebody in influence in the paper in your club. We've got the editor of our local paper in the club, and we get a lot of stuff put in the paper because of that. So. Yeah,
that's wonderful. Absolutely. I mean, work with your people that are working on publications. Not necessarily that they have to be a print publication. They could be digital. They could be a blogger. It could be the television station or radio. Anybody like that. Definitely, those folks make great Kiwanians and great advocates for the work that we do. So. Thank you, Bill, for sharing that.
Yeah, thanks, Bill. I just wanted to add, Jim, if it's okay, to tie back to our Ohio District goals, which are also in the directory. So Jim, when we started, made mention of the I plan and the components of it, and image being one of those. And the reason that we're having this session is to enhance the overall image of Kiwanis image in Ohio. Which includes the components that Jim mentioned. Just to highlight, our goals this year were to leverage technology to enhance the image of Kiwanis in Ohio, which is why you've seen some of the different ways that you can do that. Define and implement a communication plan for our district, which we've been working very closely, and you're seeing that through the webinar Wednesdays, the new web page, examples such as this about branding. Increase our press releases, which we just talked about. and increase our Ohio Kiwanis license plate usage. So to continue, it's a non-technical solution, but also supports the foundation and enables us to promote the image quite visibly as we move about town. So just wanted to mention that to tie it back to our district goals. Thanks, Jim.
Absolutely. Yeah, and as Dave Thomas just mentioned on the chat, Webinar Wednesday is definitely one of those ways for us to promote and leverage technology to reach the members in the district, to let you know what resources are available and how we can help each other out. Rising tide lifts all ships. So.
Yeah, so I think there's a question about Webinar Wednesday, and so they're intended to be the first Wednesday of the month, and the topics vary. Yeah, please promote it. So any member is invited. It's not limited to club leadership. So hopefully you'll invite some friends and find some, and promote it within your area.
And even if you can't make the Webinar Wednesday, you can go to youtube.com and search Ohio Kiwanis and find our Kiwanis channel. And the webinars will be posted there along with some other content that's been created through video as well. We also hope to capture some video at the upcoming mid-year session that can be shared and at other district events. We created a nice centennial video from the Cleveland Club back in October that was recently posted to the channel, as well as the Facebook page that was shared out from. So,
Jim, this is Faith. As far as the YouTube, would we recommend maybe if a club has an event or some video of something, that could they also have that be placed on the Ohio Kiwanis YouTube?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they can send us the files and we can get it posted on there. Absolutely.
Good, okay.
It's open for any in the district to post things. We want to, the whole goal of it is just to get Kiwanis shared as much as possible throughout the state. So, any other questions, feedback, anything that we can help with? Everybody's good to go. Okay. Well, I wanted to thank everybody for joining us tonight and leave you with this parting reminder that the Kiwanis brand is us. When you use it well, you make it stronger, and that makes us stronger. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and come back next month.